Hello again everybody, and welcome back to the 3i video series, In-Depth Insight and Information. In the last episode, I did a video on tips and strategies you can use to get the M.O.A.B, and I will be doing that over the next couple of weeks so that we can help you in your quest for the M.O.A.B. Now, something I want to point out right here in the video is you just heard the javelin missile go off, and you notice that I'm kind of waiting right here. The reason is that, as you just saw, as soon as that javelin hit, it created a lot of smoke and debris that allows you to run through it without the enemy seeing you. And that's something that we use quite a bit. Ace is the team leader and strategist, came up with that technique, and if used correctly, the javelin can be extremely good. Ace is actually an expert on the javelin, but one of the main things I'm going to be talking about in this episode is how teamwork and working with your team can greatly increase your chances of getting a M.O.A.B. There's only been one time so far where I actually didn't know that I was going to get the M.O.A.B, and I was just playing. I knew that I was on a kill streak, but I didn't know that I was actually going to get it. In this game, while I wasn't initially planning on getting it, I did know that I was on a good kill streak and things seemed to be working right, so I went ahead and let my teammates know that I was going to go ahead and go for it. Because as I've said before, winning the game, it should be your first priority. And working as a team with your team, it should always be your main priority. In Modern Warfare 2, we used to, initially when the game came out, we would get the game-ending nuke quite often because we would set somebody up to get it. Whoever's turn it was, basically, is the way we did it, and we actually did that so often that we ended up getting bored of doing it, and we would rather play the game out as opposed to getting a nuke. But that just goes to show how if you work as a team and you help somebody get that nuke, then it really helps, and it shows the importance of not playing selfishly. One of the things that is extremely helpful if you are working with a team to get your M.O.A.B is for 1, 2, or even 3 of the members of your team have UAV as one of their point streaks. That helps immensely because you are most likely going to be using the specialist kill streak setup, which allows you to get the perks and eventually get all of the perks in the game, which means that you can't be using UAV. So if your teammates are using UAV as one of their point streaks, then it will help you a ton. Another extremely helpful thing is be sure to always communicate. Communication helps a lot. As you just saw right there, Deuces died, and I didn't even realize it at the time, and he told me exactly where he got shot from, which then allowed me to shoot that guy without being shot myself, because he was actually a sniper, and he would have definitely killed me, which then allowed me to capture this flag, and also for the M.O.A.B, which I got later. Now, right here I want to point out that I was shooting at that guy and he ran around the back of the building right there going towards our flag, and you saw that I lay down behind that car to look at the UAV to see where he was headed. That is why. Because by this point, I knew that I had a very high kill streak going and I didn't want to die. So I called out to Queen that a guy was going behind the building to our flag, and she told me that he didn't come all the way around, which then in turn told me that he was coming back for me after I shot at him, which allowed me to turn around and kill him. Communication like that happens regularly with our team, but for this game, it helped me about 5 or 6 times and kept me from dying where I would have otherwise and would have never gotten the M.O.A.B. Because right here again, Deuces ends up getting killed right beside me, and he immediately told me, which then in turn allowed me to get up and shoot that guy. So I can't stress communication enough, because 3 times in a row I would have gotten killed if it hadn't been for my teammates telling me where a guy was. Now, capture the flag can be difficult to get the M.O.A.B in because of the timed respawn, but if you're working with a team, it actually can be one of the easiest game types to know exactly where the enemy is going to spawn, because you have one flag for each team, and you are going to spawn somewhere or in the vicinity of your flag. So that gives you a real good idea of where the enemy is going to be coming from. And generally, I've found that the start of the round or game is the best time to get several kills, because most teams that you play will take the shortest route they can to get to your flag, which means you'll have almost the whole entire team running. Here, for instance, they run down those stairs when they spawn on the A side. If you're playing dominations, they all run down those stairs to your flag. So if you come and get in the position that I just took right there behind that wall, looking towards the stairs, I would have gotten most likely all three of those guys right off the bat. But Deuces stole them all with a Predator. But I still was able to get the other two players on the enemy team. Now, when I say stealing kills, that's sort of a relative term. We use that in a joking way amongst our team, because we play together so much that we end up taking things that we've seen work very well from each other and using them in our own gameplay style, and end up, well, I guess, stealing each other's skills. Now, I want to point out that this spot where I'm at here in Resistance, above the stairs by these two tree wells here, is my favorite spot on the map Resistance, and is probably the strongest power point in any map in Modern Warfare 3. The reason for that is because you can cover 2/3 of the map from this position. You can cover down the stairs, and you can cover, especially in Capture the Flag, you're covering them on this whole entire right side and middle of the map, coming from their flag, where they're spawning. And you have the two tree wells here that can protect your flank from the right side if you're watching the middle, and then all you gotta do is take a few steps, and it's protecting you from the middle when you're watching to the right where they're coming out of the spawn. And then if you get a little overwhelmed, then you can run down these stairs, and you have a huge advantage over the enemy of only showing your head and them showing their entire body. And this is a perfect example of how you can really use this to your advantage in, especially, like I said, Capture the Flag. It works pretty good in Domination too, but the spawns are different in Domination, and I don't like this map nearly as much in Domination. But for Capture the Flag, this is the easiest map to get a M.O.A.B in. Another good power point in this map is just down the stairs and going and using the white van that would be behind me and the other tree well that's back there to cover their spawn if they were coming from the other flag. As you just saw there, I got the M.O.A.B. And I don't know about anybody else, but for some reason it seems like every time after I get the M.O.A.B, I die. Like, one kill afterwards, I always die. And I don't know why, but I don't know if I'm just lucky that I don't get killed right before I get it. Now, I also want to point out that you see that I don't immediately call it in. And the reason that I don't is because I let Aces, the team leader, know that I was able to get it. And he said to go ahead and save it, and we would use it to capture a flag, because, as you can see, we haven't captured one in this round yet. And the reason for that is because it kills the whole entire enemy team. And with the timed respawn in Capture the Flag, there's a really, really good chance that you'll be able to capture a flag. So when everybody is positioned in order to do that, that's when you call it in. And you can see Deuces was able to just now grab the flag, and I would go ahead and call it in, which immediately distracts the enemy because you got this ringing noise in your ears, and then you go into slow motion and die. So it's a very good technique, and one that if you're able to get the M.O.A.B, it's definitely worth doing. As you can see, we actually end up getting 2 flags because Aces grabs the flag right after Deuces captures it, and I escort him in to our base. Now, I actually end up making a mistake here, and I'll point it out why. But it's a habit I've gotten into because our team is so good as a team that that you tend to cut corners, which is what I do here, because I go to kill guys that I think are going to be coming to kill Aces from this direction from their base. But what I should have done is gone ahead and escorted him all the way in. That's what you really should do. But As you saw, because he died. Well, I may not have been able to save him, but there's a good chance that I would have been able to, and that was a mistake on my part that I want to point out to you guys to hopefully keep others from doing that. And he also probably expected me to be there, which means that he probably would have played differently had he known that I was not there. That is going to wrap up this episode of 3i. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments or requests, go to callofdutyseries.com and post them in the forums. Or you can email me at res@callofdutyseries.com. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, your comments and suggestions are welcome. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, username ResBands. Thanks for watching and God bless.